Jordan.
Okay, alright. Right. Way I see it, you're a scary clown, hiding in a bush, who just happens to know my name. Way I see it, you're a creep, and I should just probably walk away right now.
Me? I ain't no creep. I am Pennywise the dancing clown. Me, Pennywise, you, Jordan. I guess we're friends now, huh, pal?
No, I don't think it quite works like...
Can you smell the carnival, Jordan? Can you smell the lollipops, the cotton candy? What else is there, Jordan?
Popcorn.
Yes, that's right. Popcorn. I like it when it pops.
Okay.
Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, pop, pop, pop. Pop, 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 pop.
Stop.
Pop, 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 pop.
Okay, right, that's enough. Just stop, please.
Yes, we all float down here, Jordan. And when you come down here, you'll float too!
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Do you want a balloon?
Well, I'm good. I'm just gonna, get my way out of here. I'm sure you know the way out. Bye now.
Wait, where you going? Toffee-coated apples. I should just use the free Wi-Fi when I have the chance.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Jordan McFilmMyself, and today we'll be reviewing Stephen King's It. It is a highly anticipated adaptation of Stephen King's mammoth book. Like, I'm not joking, it's over 1,000 pages long. Longer than the Bible, perhaps. And It is the remake of the mini-series of the same name, which was released back in 1990, over 27 years ago. Exactly 27 years ago. Which is funny, because of course 27 years is sort of integral to the lore of It. It as a creature or an entity, whatever it is, it returns every 27 years to haunt the town of Derry and feed on the children. So is there a more perfect time for this to be released than 27 years after the 1990 miniseries? Who knows, maybe in another 27 years we'll get yet another remake, and hopefully it'll be just as good as this one. Now, when the trailers for It were popping out, it was very clear that people were really excited for this flick. I believe the first or second trailer, I don't think it was the teaser trailer, I think it was the first actual trailer, as they call them these days, was the most viewed trailer in under 24 hours, which is pretty incredible, I must say. And that just goes to show that people really wanted to get their eyes on this new movie and go to see it as quickly as possible, as shows as well in the box office opening weekend. There are millions and millions of fans of the original Stephen King's novel, the huge book. It's sort of seen as a gateway book, I believe, into the sort of Stephen King universe and stuff like that. It's sort of seen as where you start off before you sort of develop your way into all the rest of his work. It's the one that people often come off as saying they read it in their adolescence, and that's what they read first. That's what really got them into horror and really got them into Stephen King. And then of course there's the miniseries, as I mentioned, in 1990, and that sort of gained something of a cult status over the years. I don't think it's esteemed too highly. No one sees it as perfect, but of course there are some very true fans there who hold it really dear to their hearts, especially because they watched it as kids. But really, none of that matters to me, because I haven't read or seen any of that jazz. I went into It almost completely blind. While I had seen the trailers and liked most of what I saw, and was fairly excited actually, I knew absolutely nothing about it. I wasn't really expecting anything. I didn't really have any expectations. But I should have expected a good time, because this movie was so damn fun. Now, to start off with, it takes place in the town of Derry, the fictional town of Derry, in the year 1989, which you can simply figure out by saying that at the local cinema they're showing Batman, Lethal Weapon 2 and Nightmare on Elm Street 5. They made 5 Nightmare on Elm Streets. Wow. And at this town of Derry, there have been multiple mysterious disappearances of children. One of them being Georgie, who is sort of integral to Billy's character development. He is dragged down a storm drain by Pennywise himself in an absolutely painfully tense sequence, might I add. And it's just, if you don't like violence to kids, I recommend you stay well away from this, because kids do get hurt, kids do get physically damaged, emotionally damaged, and it's just not fun for any kiddos in this movie. But focusing on the kids, in the movie we follow the Losers Club, something I would probably belong in, a group of misfits and outcasts who are all horrifically bullied and mistreated, even by their own parents. Life is just not fun for these kids, but they're all friends, and it's really this friendship that brings out the sort of more hopeful side of this film. And my, are these young actors great. They really just have this tangible chemistry that just glues the entire film together. It's the groundwork for this movie that they get these kids right, and they absolutely nailed it. They're so darn well written. They're so relatable. They're so realistic. And they're so funny. The writing is excellent. The comedy that is dished out, the snappy back and forth dialogue amongst this circle of kids is great. They really know what they're doing, the writers for this film, when writing for these characters. I never looked at one character and said, oh, he's just filling in a gap, or they are just filling in a gap. They're just there, you know, to appease to a demographic. No, I looked at every single kid and I knew exactly what they were about. Maybe not every kid is given the equal amount of the limelight, and perhaps you could point that out as a flaw. But really, when you have 7 or 8 kids to all deal with and kind of balance out character development with, it's not an easy job to get that right, and you're never going to get it perfect probably, unless you're like some amazing craftsman with film. However, I still thought they did a pretty darn good job of making these kids amazing to watch on screen. But to give credit where credit is really due, I have to just applaud the young actors in this movie. They really just, whatever material they were given, you could tell they were really on board with it, and they just gave it their all, and they knew themselves what their characters were all about. And I just believe they really filled out each and every one of their roles. I believe a standout standouts are Finn Wolfhard, which you've probably seen from Stranger Things. I haven't watched Stranger Things. Don't hurt me. Another standout I found was Jack Grazer, something like that. I found myself, it's probably because I found myself relating to him very personally. He would be probably be in all of these situations. Also, he's just really great in the movie. Of course, you have the more kind of central parts. You have Billy himself, and he's really great. and they all the kids deal with such adult things, and Billy especially fleshes that out, and really that's really represented by his character. A lot of child actors annoy me in a movie, and I suppose you can't really call them child actors because they are more into the adolescence. But they all have this demographic annoy me in a movie. It's just something really just makes me so happy. You've really hit the nail on the head in that one. But dancing from the lighter aspects of this film to the more darker, sinister parts, I have to talk about Pennywise the Clown. I must say, I had trouble sleeping that night, guys, because every time I closed my eyes, I saw him. I saw Bill Skarsgård with that horrific makeup on. So well done. Great job to the makeup team. Just standing there smiling at me. All the scariest parts of it involve Pennywise in some form. Most of the really terrifying parts, the parts where it scared me the most, are the parts where Pennywise is just standing there in a room and he's taunting the kids and he's really getting under their skin. And the clown also has a very interesting dynamic with the kids. He likes to prey on their fear. Apparently, for the it entity, it's that if he scares a kid before he decides to abduct it, and if he saw it, he likes to sort of season the meat and scaring the kids like that because he feeds on fear. So with all the kids, he sort of embodies what they're most afraid of, and that's a really interesting thing because not only is it kind of visually pleasing as nice little pieces of imagery and stuff like that, it's also character development at the same time. So you're sort of doing, you're sort of juggling two things at once and sort of blending them together nicely. And of course, Bill Skarsgård is terrifying. As I've said, I can't wait to see him again in chapter 2. Voice mannerisms are really interesting. He does a lot of things with his face. He has a little creepy smile. His eyes really glow up. He's a tall clown, and having a tall clown is a lot creepier than you might expect. Also, he's asked to do a lot. He's asked to traumatize children, and that ain't no easy thing for an actor to do. And to really sort of encompass his character in such a way that Skarsgård does is just something. It's just a pleasure to watch. However, the creature of it itself is kind of confusing. I might have to read the book before chapter 2 comes out to really understand it, or hopefully chapter 2 will just explain it for me a little better. I know there's some wacky zany lore out there as to what Pennywise actually is, but in this movie they don't really explain all that much as to what he is, and I guess that's a good thing because I don't like knowing too much about my horror movies. All the best horror movies are left ambiguous or left vague. However, with something this sort of complex and this sort of kind of sci-fi, I do demand just a little bit more. However, that's just one small flaw of this film. Something that just I've been thinking about. It wasn't necessarily when I was watching it, but something I was thinking about after, and I was trying to just, think and marinate the film in my head, and that's something that kept coming up, was that I really still don't know what the creature of it really is, and I have had to watch some YouTube videos on that who've explained it a little better for me than the film could itself. But moving on from all that to some of my more final points, I have to talk about direction. This is the director of Mama. I haven't seen Mama, but now I really would like to. He does a really great job just encapsulating the world, which is sometimes nowadays not done very well, I don't think. However, he really just sets up this town of Derry very nicely. It's somewhat atmospheric, it's somewhat claustrophobic when it needs to be, and really it's all edited very, very nicely. And the storytelling I'm doing is actually very, very good as well. It's paced nicely. You always find the scary parts comes in like blocks of 3, and then you'll have like a moment of downtime and then a block of 3. However, the tension never really truly lets up until the final credits, and even then you're left thinking, oh dear, I have to experience this again in chapter 2. The movie does also look really nice. It sets up some of its themes, some of its like retro aspects. It's also its tone. It sets up very nicely with a sort of darkened, filtered color palette. It's a little grey. It makes all the reds pop really well when the balloons are floating around the screen, and when Pennywise is on screen, he's really always the center of frame. He's really picked out from everything else. It's just a really, eye candy movie, to be honest. And all the scares are mostly well put together. However, not all of the scares are that scary, and some of them are kind of cheesy. I would say the scary scares to non-scary scares ratio is 2 to 1. For every 2 parts that actually get to you, there's one that makes you kind of go or ha, that was weird. There are moments where Pennywise will like run at a child and his face will like shield like that. It's kind of, I didn't really buy that much. I'd rather just have Pennywise just mock the kids. Also, the musical score is fairly great. I don't know if I would buy it on vinyl or buy it as a CD. But when you're watching it, it works very well. It's a mixture between sort of the Nightmare on Elm Street style, kind of distorted nursery rhymes. They have oranges and lemons in there at the very start, and that's very creepy. It sets the mood very, very well. And then of course they blend that with more Williams kind of Spielberg stuff in there, which is also very fitting with the theme, of course, because it does feel like a very retro sci-fi kind of story. So you have this kind of nice little blend there. And it just kind of, that defines the film. So they've definitely done a good job with the music. Guys, those are my thoughts on it. I really like this film. It's just a really deep, beating, pounding heart to this movie. And you'll leave it just thinking, well, wasn't that just a great time? I had fun, I was scared, I felt a whole range of emotions, and most of all, I loved the people who were in this movie. I loved the kids, I related to them, and I just can't wait for chapter 2. Guys, I'm giving it an A-. Guys, I've been Jordan McFilmMyself. Thanks for watching. You've made it into this probably 20-minute video. If you like what you saw, like the video, leave a comment, give me your thoughts on the movie. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a discussion. I always like hearing a lot of people's opinions. Maybe you liked it, maybe you hated it. I want to know. Tell me. Tell your friends also about this video, and I want more views. But guys, anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.